my YouTube channel. My name is Berry, and today we are going to be watching Space is Way Scarier Than You Think. I don't think so. This is going to be absolutely terrifying. Let's check it out. I was a child laborer in NASA, by the way.
On February 7th, 1984, 317 miles above Earth, Bruce McCandless pushed away from the space shuttle and into the history books, taking the largest first step in human history.
I don't know. That step out of bed in the morning feels pretty big. Maybe I'm just depressed.
While Neil Armstrong's small step was a giant leap for mankind,
I thought that was John Madden.
McCandless's first test of the manned maneuvering unit was a plunge into infinity.
That's scary.
Space is big. In size, obviously, but also in the way that it stirs our imaginations. The very concept of nothing is hard to fully process.
I think that's why people are also afraid to die. Not me, though. I'm like 93 years old, so I know it's coming.
And if space is anything, it's a whole lot of nothing. Potentially infinite nothingness. But at the same time, teeming with monstrous structures and energies beyond human comprehension. Filaments made up of thousands of clusters of galaxies.
That's where filaments went! Guys, we found her!
Each with hundreds of billions of stars. Areas of space so dense and massive that the rules of physics entirely break down. And yet, when we look outside, we only see the very closest stars. All the rest of it is just out there, hidden in the endless darkness, like an eldritch horror. And despite that, or maybe because of it, we feel inexplicably drawn to it.
It is kind of cool. It's like, I like the idea of solving something that other people haven't solved. I don't know how to explain it. That's also why cold cases kind of annoy me, because I'd rather know what happened.
From our earliest days, we explored the infinite darkness, looking for meaning. We used the stars to navigate, to guide our planting of crops. We imprinted our gods and mythologies into the patterns we saw in them. We may not have known what was out there, but we knew it was important. We invented eye-enhancing telescopes that reached through the darkness and found monstrous worlds we didn't even know existed. And now in the modern era, we've taken our first tentative steps into that void by packaging ourselves in suits and machines that simulate the conditions on Earth.
If somebody right now came up to you, walked with their briefcase, came to your house, ding dong, you answer the door, probably not likely, but you do. And they said, I will take you to space right now if you give me all the money in your savings account, and you will come back. We would all do it, right? I'd do it. I mean, I got debt. Infinite money glitch.
And we can't survive in any of it. Our world, in this perspective, is a microscopic oasis in a never-ending inky void, as insignificant to the rest of the universe as a bacterium floating in the middle of the Pacific Ocean.
Dude, I think about that too. Like, ever since I saw The Grinch when I was a kid and they all lived on a snowflake, I was so scared that we all lived on a snowflake.
Astrophobia is the fear of space.
Oh.
Or astronomical objects. Astro from the Greek astron, meaning star, and phobia from the Greek phobos, meaning fear. So technically astrophobia is the fear of stars, but we include space and celestial objects as well. Objects like, say, the Mars moon Phobos. We literally have an object in the solar system named Fear. If someone from the city who rarely sees stars goes to the country or dark sky territory, they might find the immensity of a fully lit night sky to be overwhelming.
It is beautiful though. Like, now I don't really see it that much because I live in the city. So it's kind of confusing to me whenever people go on like top of a car or maybe like Stardew Valley with Sebastian. They're like, look at how pretty all that is. If I were to do that right now, I'd see, oh, McDonald's, Burger King.
Even nerve-rattling. We might say that person has a touch of astrophobia. A believer in astrology might become nervous in the days when Mercury goes into retrograde. This could be considered astrophobia. Or the old idea that people go mad under a full moon, turning them into lunatics.
Oh. Normally, like, isn't there like some people who put like water outside when there's a full moon or something like that? My friend used to do that. I don't really know, but I think people do that other than my friend.
That's astrophobia. In the ancient times, comets were thought to be harbingers of disaster. In fact, that's where the word comes from. Disaster.
Bad star. Wait, I never knew Dude, words make sense. Oh my God.
Star. But there's another type of astrophobia. One that's not specific to an object or a superstition, but something much deeper. A kind of cosmic existentialism. Have you ever laid in the grass on a clear night
Sorry, I'm scared of grass.
and just took in the sky? Just let it wash over you and kind of become a part of it. A strange sensation starts to come over you that you're not actually looking up. You're looking down. Below you is a drop into an infinite void, and the only thing keeping you from falling is the fact that you're stuck to the ground by gravity. This shift in perspective is a bit of a transformative experience, and I recommend everybody to have it at some point in their lives.
Well, now I'm scared and I don't even want to go outside. I have worldophobia.
Chemicals can help that along. Just saying. But that perspective...
Wait. Is he telling me to do drugs and drop out of school? Okay.
is a bit more accurate. In space, there really is no up. There is no down. It's just out in all directions forever. And the only thing keeping you from falling into it is this invisible force called gravity.
Yeah.
Which we still don't really understand. And it's a good thing, because if you were to ever go out in any of those forever directions, you'd be dead after 5 miles.
Oh, wait, but cars lived. I tank it. I win.
That's it. That is as far as a human can go in that direction before we can't breathe anymore. 5 miles. 8 kilometers.
That's like Publix. That's like Arby's.
You could walk that distance in a little over an hour.
Yeah.
That's nothing. And everything beyond that will kill you.
Oh.
Fear of space indeed.
I'm scared.
We exist on a tiny sliver of space, on the surface of a tiny planet. And even in that sliver, we can only survive on land, which is only 29% of the total surface. And even on that land, only 43% of it is habitable. The rest will kill you with oppressive heat, extreme
Wait, what about Australia? That's like partially habitable?
cold, and choking forests. Earth can kill you in a million different ways. You can dehydrate, drown, fall off a cliff, get hit by lightning.
Dude, I've never been hit by lightning, but I did have lightning strike like outside my house really, really close one time, and it was very scary. Can you survive getting struck by lightning? My grandma told me when she was a kid that there was a lightning strike that happened on her house, and she was taking a shower and it exploded her backwards and she almost died. And then I got scared to take a shower. I don't know if she's telling the truth or not, but every time it rains, I refuse to take a shower. Whatever is fun. A lot of people survive it. Wait, don't they also get like the scar that looks like a lightning strike on them? Something like that, I think. Or was that like a fan fiction? That might have been like a Percy Jackson fanfic. Oh, yes! Cool. Harry Potter.
Consumed by fire?
Oh.
Consumed by a lion?
Okay, well, I'd rather be consumed by a lion than be consumed by fire. I think dying by fire is probably one of the worst ways to go. Just straight up suffering.
Or a tiger? Or a bear? You could eat the wrong berry.
Don't think about it. Leave me alone.
Or pet the wrong snake. Or get bitten by the wrong bug. Or go to Australia.
That's what I said!
You could get blown up by a volcano. Or breathe a toxic gas. Catch a
You're gonna
disease
love
from a
that.
rat. Or have a small number of blood cells clot up and travel to your brain.
Okay, don't get me started with the brain stuff. It is really scary. Like, you could just bump your head one day and then never be the same.
Or just wait long enough. One way or the other, the Earth always wins. Nobody has ever survived Earth.
Everybody who's ever drank water has died. Be careful. Drink gamer subs code BerryCrepe.
And yet, it's the only place in our solar system we can survive. If you teleported to the surface of Mercury, you would lose consciousness within 20 seconds for lack of oxygen.
And don't even think about eating mercury. That never goes well.
In the vacuum of space, your skin would boil as gases in your blood flash into bubbles, like a carbonated soda. If you were teleported to the sun side, your body would bake on the 800-degree surface. If you're on the shadow side, it's immediate frostbite at negative 290 degrees. If you went to the surface of Venus, you wouldn't have time to suffocate from the lack of oxygen because you would
I'm not allowed to go there. Wait, boys go to Jupiter to get more stupider. Girls go to college to get more knowledge. L.
It immediately burst into flame from the 867-degree air temperature, while simultaneously being crushed by an atmospheric pressure 92 times higher than here on Earth.
What about
It would
Uranus?
basically be like the Titan submersible, but on fire. On Mars, you might have a relatively warm day, but you'd still suffocate. There's only 1% of our air pressure there, and almost none of it is oxygen. So you'd get the worst case of the bends imaginable, and then pass out. Teleporting to the surface of Jupiter would be difficult because there's no real
Because then you'd be more stupider, just like you.
surface on Jupiter, just thick atmosphere that gets thicker as you go down until it
Okay, well now I want to go. They got the Mewtwo build-ass planet.
turns into liquids and solids and states of matter we don't even understand. You would basically just fall until you were crushed into a diamond. Somewhat the same thing on Saturn, but breathing the ammonia clouds would scorch your lungs first.
Dude, isn't it lucky that we were born here? Sometimes I get a little retrospective with it. Like, for you to have been born, that means that the people before you had to have lived, like, all these years. And, like, now you continue the legacy and you're the protagonist.
Neptune and Uranus are so far away from the sun that the hydrogen atmosphere freezes solid. That's why they're called ice giants, which is what you would be within seconds of going there.
Oh. I'd be giant? Finally, tell my ex-wife!
At 371 degrees, your body doesn't freeze, it vitrifies. Basically turns into glass.
Oh.
Our sense of scale about space is completely skewed because you can't really image it. To show it remotely at scale, you wouldn't really be able to see anything.
No, and this is like the same thing about between a million and a billion. It's like hard to think about how big a billion is because like even a million seems big, but like a billion is like a bunch of millions.
It takes 8 minutes for light to travel from the sun to the Earth. It takes light about 8 hours to reach the outer edge of the Kuiper Belt and leave our solar system. So one light day is 3 times longer than the radius of our solar system.
Wow.
1 light year is 365 times that long. Our closest star is 2.24.
Is it me? Hi! I won't explode. Don't worry about it. I got you. I got you.
4 light years away. Polaris is around 450 light years away.
Wait, I thought that was a pool cleaner.
The farthest star that you can see with the naked eye is V762 Cassiopeia, a supergiant star approximately 16,000
Don't even get me started on Cassiopeia. Nerf her ass.
light years away. While we're looking at the Milky Way, we sit about halfway between the center and the edge. If we went to the edge, it would be 25 to 28,000 light years, making the radius of the Milky Way about 50,000 light years, roughly 100,000 all the way across. These distances are ridiculous.
Yeah.
But that's nothing compared to the distance between galaxies.
Now it's gonna be straight up Rob Deerdick.
The closest galaxy is Andromeda, which is 2.5 million light years away.
Wow.
25 times the length of our galaxy. We're part of the local group of galaxies, roughly 10 million light years across. And that is inside the Virgo supercluster, which contains 100 galaxy clusters and made up of 10,000 galaxies, spanning 110 million light years. And that is part of the Laniakea supercluster, including the Virgo supercluster and the Hydra Centaurus supercluster, that
Holy Elden Ring looking mother sucker!
are all flowing toward a region known as the Great Attractor. It's 500 million light years across. Laniakea is one of the superclusters that makes up the Pisces-Cetus supercluster complex.
Yeah, when are we gonna get to Yo Mama and her big ass? Guess what I see right here?
How do we know all this? My brain hurts.
Your house is right there. Wave.
It's a galaxy filament 1 billion light years long. At this scale, the cosmos breaks down into filaments and voids, including the Boötes void, which is 300 million light years across.
Hold on,
Just
nothing.
Pure emptiness. Beyond this is the cosmic web, which is where our numbers break down.
Okay, this is scary.
All told, the observable universe is agreed to be about 93 billion light years across. Given the absurd scale that we're dealing with, one can only assume that the universe is filled with billions, even trillions of different planets harboring life.
There's gotta be one cat girl out there. At least one big booty cat girl waiting for me.
If there is even a millionth of a percentage chance that life could evolve in another star system, the number would still be, well, astronomical.
I think there probably is life out there, but it doesn't look like us. Like, sometimes I think we a little narcissistic with it because we be, like, making aliens kind of look like people. But I don't think it would look like a person. It probably have, like, its own little, like, swag.
Arthur C. Clarke once said, quote, "Two possibilities exist. Either we are alone in the universe, or we are not. Both are equally terrifying."
Yeah.
If the universe is teeming with life, that would mean that it's filled with potential hidden threats all around us. But it would also mean that we are not special.
No! I was told I was special.
We do not have some privileged place in the universe. We are not the universe experiencing itself. We're just a really weird fluke of organic chemistry that happens from time to time, devoid of meaning and purpose. If there's no life outside of Earth, then we are truly alone,
Yeah.
floating in an infinite void.
But then how lucky are we that we got to live while other like, I guess, beings didn't?
Which would be, in the words of Ellie Arroway, a huge waste of space.
Oh. Not you, though. You're very handsome and smart and funny.
It's such a waste of space, it feels unreal. Perhaps
Unreal Engine.
simulation?
Oh.
What if this really is just a massive game that creates itself as we explore the virtual universe? The further out we look, the more we see. When Hubble took its deep field photo, pointing at a tiny dark patch of sky and finding thousands of galaxies, maybe those galaxies literally didn't exist until we looked there.
Oh.
Maybe the structure of the universe didn't exist until we figured out how to map the cosmic microwave background radiation. Maybe you and I are just ones and zeros, and what we experience as consciousness is just a sim program, just
We're Sims? How come the person who controls me never makes me take a shower?
existing in a game. This is a popular theory, if maybe a little bananas. But belief in it is understandable, considering the equally baffling absurdity of the physical universe. There is a more elegant solution, though. One that allows for a universe teeming with life, but simultaneously seemingly void of life. But it's no less existentially terrifying.
How about we put 10 chatters into the goop machine, and then what we do is we goop you and send you into space and let you reign on another planet until your goop turns into 10 of you, and then you grow and you live on Mars.
The term Great Filter speaks to the idea that basic life like single-cell bacteria might be common, but intelligent life encounters barriers that
Oh, never mind. We need intelligent life.
prevent it from existing everywhere. Some think the Great Filter occurs before intelligent life.
Normally, the great filter is my voice. That's when people say, I don't like being here because you sound weird, but then eventually I came back.
For example, the evolution from single-celled organisms to multicellular organisms, that might be a Great Filter. After all, the Earth is 4.5 billion years old, and single-cell life began relatively early, some believe around 500 million years. But it wasn't until 1.6 billion years ago that multicellular life arose on Earth, meaning it took 2.5 billion years for life to make that jump.
And then you play League of Legends? Disappointment.
Perhaps this is such a remarkably rare event that it could be considered a Great Filter. Others suggest the Great Filter is something that still awaits us, that it occurs after intelligence evolves. Maybe because of a cataclysmic cosmic event, or the death of their star. Maybe it's a predatory alien civilization engaging in dark forest gamesmanship.
Is this the ships you guys be paying $900 for? What is the name of that game where you gotta spend real world money and then you get a starship and then you like bring it around and then people like tell you how cool your ship is? It's, yeah, Star Citizen!
Or maybe because intelligent civilizations inevitably drain their own resources and wipe themselves out.
Oh.
Perhaps intelligence isn't the ultimate goal of evolution, but a mutation of it, a kind of cancer, a metastasis that requires an unsustainable consumption of resources that inevitably dies out.
That's sad.
All of this is an overdramatic way of saying that
What I thought was gonna happen in, what was the name of that movie? 2000, the one there I was in middle school and they told me the world was gonna end! 2012! 2012, yeah. What I thought was going to happen in 2012 when I was a kid.
Maybe intelligent civilizations have a time limit.
Ah!
And if there's anything as absurd as the space in the universe, it's the time of the universe. The two are fundamentally linked after all. The average lifetime of a species here on Earth is between 5 and 10 million years.
Okay.
Intelligent life might fare better, or it might fare worse. But we can give ourselves the benefit of the doubt. Let's just say we last 10 million years.
That's a pretty good run. Be honest. I don't even want to live, I guess, 100.
In the 13.8 billion year history of the universe, that is a line so thin, you can barely see it on the screen. Even if life was common, even if intelligent life were common, even if...
It's not. Let's be honest. It's not. Drive in Florida for a day and you'll realize it's not. Walk around to Costco.
If every single star system in the universe were capable of creating intelligent life at some point before that star system dies out, it is entirely plausible that all of those civilizations rose, conquered, and ended at different windows in the universe, and never knew that any of the others ever existed.
Humans are 2 million years old. Okay, so I'm safe. I'll be good. Good luck, everybody else, for those who come after, blah, yada, yada.
We, in our tiny, inconsequential oasis of the universe, are only here for a fleeting amount of time. And all we have is each other against the vast, consuming darkness.
Oh.
On Valentine's Day in 1990, the Voyager 1 spacecraft, well past the orbit of Neptune at this point, took one last look back toward the inner solar system and snapped a picture. This picture held no scientific value. In it, there was nothing we could learn that we didn't already know.
Uh-oh.
But in this photo, Voyager captured Earth from over 6 billion kilometers away, making it look like only a cluster of blue pixels.
4 freaking pixels.
Carl Sagan championed this photo and called it the pale blue dot. It is, in a sense, the most accurate photo of our species ever taken. In Carl's words, "From this distant vantage point, the Earth might not seem of any particular interest. But for us, it's different.
Because it's us.
Consider
it's
again
ours.
that dot. That's here. That's home.
Aww.
That's us. On it, everyone you love, everyone you know, everyone you ever heard of, every human being who ever was, lived out their lives.
Aww.
The aggregate of our joy and suffering, thousands of confident religions, ideologies, and economic doctrines, every hunter and forager, every hero and coward, every creator and destroyer of civilization, every king and peasant, every young couple in love, every mother and father, hopeful child,
Why does
inventor
it make
and
me
explorer,
cry?
every teacher of morals, every corrupt politician, every superstar, every supreme leader, every saint and sinner in the history of our species lived there, on a mote of dust, suspended in the sunbeam.
Aww.
The Earth is a very small stage in a vast cosmic arena. Think of the rivers of blood spilled by all those generals and emperors so...
Such an idiot. I was like, wait, he knows about that? Did he run that shit?
that
Did he know he could get 2 of them?
in glory and triumph they could become the momentary masters of a fraction of a dot. Think of the endless cruelties visited by the inhabitants of one corner of this pixel
Holy crap! Who threw that giant rock?
on the scarcely distinguishable inhabitants of some other corner. How frequent their misunderstandings, how eager they are to kill one another, how fervent their hatreds. Our posturings, our imagined self-importance, the delusion that we have some privileged position in the universe,
Yeah.
are all challenged by this point of pale light.
And what if there's other people, but not people, but like other, like, I guess, life forms that think they're the only guys out there and they don't know about us? And we a real one. We really got that shit for real. Like, we got computers and the internet.
Our planet is a lonely speck in the enveloping cosmic dark. In our obscurity, in all this vastness, there is no hint that help will come from elsewhere to save us from ourselves. The Earth is the only world known so far to harbor life. There is nowhere else, at least in the near future, to which our species could migrate. Visit, yes. Settle, not yet.
Okay, guys, who wants to go on a field trip? Get in the magic school bus. We're going to Jupiter. Come on, get in there.
Like it or not, for the moment, the Earth is where we make our stand. It has been said that
Meanwhile, when we all get to Jupiter. Whose idea was this?
astronomy is a humbling, character-building experience. There is perhaps no better demonstration of the folly of human conceits than this distant image of our tiny world. To me, it underscores our responsibility to deal more kindly with one another and to preserve
You!
and cherish the pale blue dot, the only home we've ever known. Space is scary, and yet we are drawn to it. It's the ultimate call of the void. And with a renewed interest in colonizing the moon and new telescopes like the Vera Rubin telescope, we seek to expand.
Would you move to the moon if you would be one of the first like 100 people to move there, but there's no internet, no computer, no nothing? You actually just have to live and like farm and like work and have a job. But you get to be one of the first 100. Okay, we had two takers. Okay, we had 2 takers. And then somebody else said billionaire simulator. No internet, no, yeah, how am I supposed to eat my meal without YouTube? I'm supposed to talk to somebody? Oh, hell no.
Our reach into the abyss. And maybe we'll get there. Maybe we'll wise up and outlive our species' life expectancy. Maybe we'll expand through the cosmos and find new homes on other worlds near other stars. Because in an infinite universe, anything is possible.
Texting on the moon. Can I shoot my gun here?
The expansive scale of our universe is beyond comprehension, but your comprehension skills are not beyond expanding when you dive into the scientific thinking course on brilliant.org.
Brilliant.
Over 40
ad
lessons
placement.
and 480 plus interactive
Brilliant.
puzzles, you'll learn valuable insight into how our world works, as well as the technology that makes our modern way of life possible. Everything from gears to optics to the physics of pool shots. Each lesson is taught by engaging your problem-solving skills.
I was gonna sing Snake Eater, and then halfway through I decided I didn't want to. So I just said, oh.
To solve puzzles and games. And that's just one of dozens of courses spanning math, computer programming, data analysis, AI, and science. From beginner levels to advanced material you never thought you'd be able to understand. It's a totally different type of learning than you had growing up, and it makes the lessons stick because you're not relying on rote memorization, you're figuring it out the way that makes most sense to you.
Yeah.
Best of all, it doesn't feel like studying or like you're being forced to listen to a lecture. It just feels like you're playing a game. If you're anything like me, you probably have a few games you pull up on your phone to pass the time, and you
got games on your phone? I got Brilliant. Oh!
spend way too much time on it. But with Brilliant, you can spend that time actually learning something useful while still getting that nice dopamine hit you're used to. You can do it on your phone or online, or you can
1 is neighbors with 2 and 3. 4 and 2 are neighbors. 1 is before 4. I don't want to talk to my neighbors. Leave me alone.
download lessons for those times when you don't have access to the internet. To get started, just go to brilliant.org/answerswithjoe. There's a link down in the description, or you can scan the QR code on screen right now. You can try it out for free, and if you sign up for the premium subscription that gives you access to all their courses, my viewers will get 20% off the annual plan. I love Brilliant. I've been using it for years, and I can say it just keeps getting...
There's an ant on my foot. I'm not even kidding. He's like going crazy. 1 second.
better. So go see what you've been missing. The link is down in the description. Thanks for watching, everyone. Spooky season is upon us, and I thought, why not kick things off with the scariest thing I can think of?
Job application?
Existence itself.
Oh.
If you're a regular viewer, you might be thinking this was something different, and it is. I thought I would just do something a little bit different this time. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you're new to this channel, I invite you to check out some other videos of mine. I'll put one on the screen here. And if you like them, I invite you to subscribe, because there will be more videos to come. So until next time, go out there, have an eye-opening week, stay safe, and I'll see you next Monday.
Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I super appreciate it. If you're new here, please come by the Twitch stream, twitch.tv/BerryCrepe. Please check out the original and use code Berry for 10% off your gamer subs order. It helps me one day get a booba cup, and I would super appreciate it. Have a great evening. Goodbye, YouTube! Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye!